your application has been approved. It was like a dream. It was like a dream. It was like a dream. I remember calling my wife, and I told my wife, babe. She was sleeping. Babe, wake up. So yeah, I've answered the question of, why did I move to Canada, or why did I relocate, why did I leave Nigeria? And I've also gotten a question on how you guys. Yeah, so the how there are a lot of ways to relocate or migrate, and one of those ways, for Canada, so I'm going to be speaking specifically for Canada. So here I'm going to share how we evaluated why we needed to leave the country, and then the next phase was how we are going to leave the country. So I'm going to be sharing in this video how the path that we took for our migration. So when it comes to Canada, there are different ways you can move to Canada. One of those ways is through the express entry. So you can move to Canada through express entry. You can move to Canada through provincial nomination. You can move to Canada through is it something accelerated pathway? There is one other pathway. Then you can move to Canada through as a true study, and that was the route that we took. Remember earlier on in the last video that I posted on why we relocated to Canada, I mentioned my wife wanted to do her master's. So when we evaluated, we need to earn for us so that we can do more for ourselves, we can able to retire early, do investment stuff like that. She also wanted to do her master's. We wanted to give birth in Canada. Then the question was, okay, which pathway is easier and faster for us, because we also had a timeline for our relocation. So the study route was the fastest and easiest route for us, but disclaimer, this is the most expensive route to take outside the investment route. Yeah, there is also startup route and also investment route. So if you have is this 200,000 Canadian dollars? I think it's more than that. So Canada have investment route where you invest certain amount of money, they will issue you PR. There is also a startup route where if you show your business, that you are going to be doing in Canada, business plan and stuff like that, and then also show that you have enough funds to run the business, then they can also issue you PR based on that. So we moved through the study route, and when it comes to study, a lot of variable is involved, and we moved as a family. So, and the biggest factor when it comes to study is your finances. So I won't recommend this route if you are not financially capable, especially now that Canada immigration is upside down. So if a lot of rejections, a lot of ban is going on currently. So if you don't have a lot of finance, I won't really recommend this particular route. So I won't recommend it if you don't have enough funds. So being that we've decided to go with the study route, there are different phases of activities that needed to be performed, or activities that needed to happen, or things that needed to happen. And first of all, the first thing we needed to check on the box on the to-do list was getting admission, right? I'm not going to go deep dive into each one of these. If you want me to do any video on each one of those, let me know in the comment section, then I'll do that, or you can also ping me. So yeah, the first thing is getting admission. So you need to first of all research into which province do you want to come to in Canada, because there are a lot of provinces. Do you want to settle in Ontario, in Alberta, in Quebec, whatever the case is. So you decide. Once you decide the province you want to stay, then you now start looking for schools within that province. Once you get the schools within that province, you start looking for the ones that offer the program that you want to do, except you are the one that you are open to any program, and then you don't mind as long as the school is within the province you want to go to, right? So, but for us, she had a particular program in mind that she wanted to do. So we needed to find a school that offers that program, right? So first of all, research the province, get a province, get the schools, research and make sure they have the program that you want to take. And then once you do that, the next thing is what you do was apply for admission. So once you apply for admission and get your admission, the next phase is what your visa process, right? So for us, being a family, moving as a family, we needed to do a lot of stuff times two. So for our finances, we needed to prepare times two. For travel allocation, we needed to do times two, things like that. So once you settle the admission, you've gotten the admission, you start your visa process. And the first thing in visa process is your documents, the list of requirements. So for Canada, because Canada does not do interview, so most of the stuff, they judge your application based on what you submitted. And the most important document you need to submit is what? Statement of purpose, right? Statement of purpose, where you talk about a whole lot of stuff. If you also want me to do a deep dive on statement of purpose, or what you call SOP, let me know. If this is a route that you're taking, I can also do a video on that. So your statement of purpose, and whatever you're talking in your statement of purpose, you need to have, you need to make sure that you're uploading the document, evidence of what you're talking about. This is one of the key things I advise anybody that have, reached out to me regarding this study route, moving via study routes, or trying to understand what we did, right? So your SOP and your document, and the most important document is your financial documents, your proof of funds document. So many people make the mistake of showing social amount of money, but they don't show the source of those income. So when you are documenting your proof of funds, as you are documenting your source, as you are documenting your finances, you're documenting showing your bank statement that has millions of naira, showing this one that has millions of dollars or whatever. Also make sure that you are providing document that shows how those money came into those accounts, right? So your SOP, your financial document, your client information, which contains your home ties, your credentials, proof of impact, a lot of stuff. So once you have all your documents and everything arranged, the next thing is what you apply. And once you apply, trust me, within 24 hours, they will send you an email to go for biometrics. So for the study routes, it's not compulsory for you to do medicals, but we did medicals, right? We did upfront medical. Even before we started the application, we've already done medicals. I think we did medicals like January in 2024, and then our application was around August or September. So we did medicals. So they will ask you to go for, but it's not mandatory. So, but we chose to do it. So they will call you to go for your biometrics. Once you do your biometrics, the waiting then begins, right? You wait for your application to be reviewed, and it's either they approve you or they deny you. So that is how we relocated to Canada. So for our own, I will say God is really, really faithful throughout the whole process, even though it was a very stressful one, very demanding one, but God saw us through it all. Because I know during the application there were a couple of mistakes, silly mistakes that we made here and there, but God still came through for us. Things that we thought would cause us denial, didn't actually cause us denial. And when we submitted the application, just within 1 week, we got we got the feedback, we got an email. I can remember very well. I can still remember as if it was yesterday. I was just on my desk, like this, doing my thing, and I think I had every day. What I do that time was every night, before I go to bed, I'll check the portal to see if there is any update. Then in the morning, before I go to work, I'll check the portal again to see if there is any update. So I remember that day, I just opened my email. I saw ICC email, and they tell you there is an update on your application. Log into your portal, something like that. And my heart was skipping, it was beating, and I just clicked on the email, opened it, read it, and went to the portal straight and opened it. There, lo and behold, there it was. Your application has been approved. It was like a dream. It was like a dream. It was like a dream. I remember calling my wife, and I told my wife, babe. She was sleeping. Babe, wake up, because it was late in the night. Because time zone difference, right? It was late in the night. Babe, wake up. They've approved the data. My wife was like, what are you saying? Are you for it? How? It's not this one that we applied the other day. Babe, are you sure? Are you sure of what you're saying? I said, yes, they've approved it. Come and see. She came out and she saw. Even she was seeing it, she was still doubting it. She was like, how is that possible? But yeah, nothing is impossible with God. With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. So yeah, if you want me to do a deep dive video on the SOP, the documents that we provided, there is a whole lot of documents. The process is tedious, and I remember the day of submission I had to compress, because IRCC, they have a limit to how much size the file needs to be. I think 4 MB. So if the file size is more than 4 MB, you can't upload in the portal. So you have to also compress, because whatever you are talking in your SOP, you need to show the evidence. So we needed to bring all those documents to show the evidence, especially when it comes to proof of funds, to show the source of our income and things like that. And the documents were a lot. We had to compress, and if you compress too much, it will be blurry. If you don't compress, the file size will be large or more. But yeah, at the end of the day, we conquered, right? We conquered, and everything worked out well. So if you want me to do a deep dive video on the documents, the SOP, proof of funds, how to apply, things like that, just let me know. I will take time and also do those videos and walk you through the documents that we provided that got us approved within 5 days. See you guys on the next one. God bless you. Ciao.